I'm the academic director. So as academic director, I have responsibility for the academic quality of the programme, which we maintain on an ongoing basis, and which is as a result of the quality that we deliver has achieved from world-class accreditation. So I would be your point of contact for all academic matters in association with your other professors, and then along with my colleagues in marketing and our colleagues who support the administration of the programme. So this is our mission, really. This is our business school mission, and this is what we embed into everything that we do. And this is what we align our teaching to, and this is what our objective is. And as I was saying, we do enjoy very high levels of accreditation and recognition through these international bodies, which is a very important characteristic and quality mark of our MBA programme. So these are our 4 pillars that we map all our learning content onto over the course of 2 years. So it's very much about leadership. There's a big component of personal leadership development in the programme, but it's very much also about the reality of organisational life. So, for example, pillar number 3, engaging the enterprise. And that involves, or the number of components to that, including things like most assignments are embedded in the context of participants' organisations, the real life projects that get underway. There's a very in-depth strategic consultancy project that spans the 2 years, and that takes place on a live issue in a participant's organisation. We also have a programme, a national and international enterprise engagement initiatives where we visit organisations and we travel nationally and internationally for those. I can expand on those a little bit later. So these are the 4 pillars. And what are key features of the DCU MBA? Extract a number of different things. Certainly the whole leadership development capability is a big component with respect to personal leadership development. So each participant does an individual personal leadership assessment at the beginning of year 1 and identifies a number of areas of their own personal leadership capabilities that they'd like to build, and map out a program of development in those areas that spans the course of 2 years. That's guided, obviously, by faculty, but that's very much about individual leadership ability. With respect to career leadership and career development, we certainly support people with respect to further promotion opportunities, getting themselves CV ready, having a coaching session with a qualified coach in order to deliver their best selves, if you like, during the interview process. And we have a very robust careers service within DCU that MBA students can plug into and receive support from. So leadership capability is a key feature. As I was saying, assignments are specifically tailored to address issues that students themselves are experiencing in their organisations. So they're all real life projects. And we keep small class size. One of the questions asked was, what's the number? We keep it around 25 to 30. And the reason we do that is because it is a highly participative learning environment, and we very much emphasise the learning that goes on in the classroom. And the learning that is available from hearing from participants in the class. So that's why we interview all applicants for the programme in order to ensure that what they are bringing to the class is going to be rich and valuable and worthy of contribution in the classroom environment. So the small class size helps that. In relation to a couple of other key features, our faculty are national and international, and we have a nice blend of academics and practitioners. A lot of the academics teaching on the programme have got professional experience as well, so they're not just theoretical academics. Very much practical relevance of all the content and real life relevance with respect to, for example, the international and the national business trips that we take. So these are compulsory parts of the programme. So the domestic industry engagement is a weekend, and so, for example, last year we went to Belfast. Last year, the international trip was actually supposed to be in Hong Kong, but with the riots, we had to cancel it and moved it to London and Berlin. Where it will be next year, you know, there's so much uncertainty around that across every domain, including the domain of where the MBA international trip will be. But nonetheless, we're planning that it will be somewhere, more likely within Europe, but we'll wait and see. Those two are compulsory, and you get the time frame of when they take place very early on, and your responsibility is to get to the place where the engagement is, and then you're funded while you're there. So that's very practical. And so essentially what those trips are trips to various different industries. So for example, when we were in Berlin last year, we had professional tour guides taking us to pre-planned business meetings with various different types of business, and had presentations about their strategy and their marketing and their, you know, their whole workflow and all of that interesting stuff, which was very enlightening and very constructive for network building for the participants on the program as well. So let's say, Kira, can you, a few other features, certainly business networking. One of the biggest things that participants get from an MBA is the network, which they actually keep for the rest of their lives on lots of occasions. And so the network is within the classroom, and we also facilitate interaction with year 2 MBAs. So you immediately have nearly 60 people to build into your network right from the outset. We have an executive speaker series where we invite in various highly regarded and highly experienced business people to come in and talk to the class. So it's a very hands-on program. It's a very real-life program, and it strives to produce a very good balance between the theory in the classroom and the practice in the organization. So this is the structure of the MBA. So it's a 2-year program, and so you've got semester 1 and semester 2 in both years. And the semester 2, if you just look at the last line there, the strategic consultancy project, this actually spans 2 years, both of the years. But it starts off in year 1 and continues really over the course of the summer with preparatory work being done to engage in what the consultancy project is, and that is selected by people in the class. So again, it's a real live issue. So semester 1 and semester 2, semester 1 runs from September. Now I'm referring to last year, so I'll talk about what next year is going to look like in a few minutes. But semester 1 runs from the end of September to about the middle of December. And at the end of semester 1, there are 2 exams, and those exams are in January. Semester 2 begins in February, and then you have exams in May. 1 exam at the end of May in year 1. In terms of assessment, each module is assessed in a number of different ways, and clearly there are exams in some, like written exams, end of semester exams in some modules, not in all modules. But within every module, there is a variety of assessments. So if it's not an end of semester exam, it could be an individual assignment, a group assignment, and that can take a number of different forms: a case study analysis, personal, an individual assignment based on an organization, an analysis of a project within an organization, could be a presentation in class, lots of different things. But you get at the beginning of the year a very clear template of what is expected for what module and when it is expected as well. And so semester or year 2 again has 2 semesters with the same layout, starting in September, finishing in mid-December, starting in February, finishing in May. And in semester in year 2, you have the international enterprise engagement, and that's the week abroad. So they are our 2 years of the program, 2 semesters, 3 modules per semester. as it has been running, it takes place every Thursday from 2 until 9. There are some Saturdays, and they are well flagged in advance. And when I say some Saturdays, I'm talking maybe 2, maybe 3 over the course of an academic year. And the reason for those is because of the nature of the module being covered on them, that it's better to have a very long period of time to cover the module rather than shorter class slots, which take place on a Thursday. One question that was asked was about the extra study time that's required. I'd be saying realistically, you're talking about another 10 hours of study on top of the Thursday 2 until 9. Now, that's not going to be every week. Some weeks it might be more than that. Some weeks it might be less. But what I would be saying is that you'd have to have in your head that a good chunk of your weekend is going to be required for studies. And it's not just personal study, but you do a lot of work in teams, and you'll have to meet your teams, and everybody's working full time. And so that means that everybody has very little of the time except the weekends. And so you have to be ready to sacrifice your weekend time or your personal time in order to cover the material. Given that everybody is working, we do make it very clear that we don't really accept big work projects for not submitting work on time or not attending class. We do at the same time recognize that people do have very busy lives, very busy and demanding jobs, and sometimes jobs have to come first. So we don't monitor attendance. We do very much emphasize that while all the material is available online through our Loop platform, and everything is available electronically, there really is no substitute for the class. And so it's not really a question of trying to fit in the MBA after everything else. It's about making sure that when you decide to do the MBA, that you are actually going to ring fence the time requirement that is necessary, so that you do make the classes, and so that you do have the time at the weekend to work through the rest of the work that's required. So as I was saying, the assessment, a combination of continuous assessment and examination, as I was saying there, the fees tend to be around 13,000 per year. They may change ever so slightly from year to year, and registry or the fees office are actually able to answer that question if it's very different from around 13,000 a year. And DCU alumni get a 10% discount that's automatically deducted from their fees. There are a couple of scholarships. There's a 30% club scholarship for female applicants to the business school, and that can be applied for. And there is another GAA scholarship that is also available that can be applied for. You cannot use more than one discount. They can't be used in parallel. So it's if you get one scholarship, you don't get any other discount. That's my understanding. So that's what our program is. And with respect to with respect to, I suppose, the type of person that we're looking for, the reason why I interview everybody is to make sure that the program is right for them and they are right for the program. Because we're looking for a certain type of person. So we're looking for somebody, so the typical applicant will be somebody who already has an undergraduate degree of at least a 2.2 or equivalent qualification, maybe accountancy, and at least 3 years of management experience. So it's not work experience, it's management experience. And so really this program is for the post-experience executive. It is, the reality is that most people would have, I'd say the average age in the class is 35. That kind of age, and quite a bit older than that too, but not many that much younger than that, except in very rare circumstances. And as I was saying, the reason for that is that we want to ensure that that everybody in the room has a really valuable, rich and different contribution to bring to the classroom environment. And so we don't take people who don't have decent management experience. And so that means we're looking for people who have some kind of decision-making role, and budgetary responsibility, people management responsibilities, so that's the type of person that we're looking for. And so participants would come from all sorts of different sectors: public sector, private sector. We have Gardaí on the program, army personnel, finance, tech people, engineers, medics, all sorts of different people, but certainly people with more rather than less years of management experience. That's what we're looking for. So yeah, so that's just a little presentation. And so maybe what I'll do is just see, are there any